Good morning, it is Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Market opens up here in less than 1 minute. Going to be watching Tesla out of the opening gates, which you can see right there. One quick note, if you're new to these videos, they are live in the sense of you're getting my real thoughts, my raw emotions, and everything as the data plays out. So this is not me recording everything and then coming back and talking about it or doing a voiceover. You are seeing it for the very first time that I'm seeing the data. So yeah, I'm sure I'll be stumbling over my words and everything like that. But like I said, you are getting a real life look. So right here, the market's just opened up. This is a 1 minute candle. So just watching Tesla here. Want to see what it does out of the first opening minute of the day. And we'll, so showing some, little bit of strength here. Would like to see Tesla bounce up some. Let's see what else is going on out there, and I'll just let the video roll. I do have a private community if you're not familiar. So if you do hear typing, that's just me making alerts and typing to members of the community. Come on, Tesla, get back up there. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, very nice. Let's see if this thing can work its way up higher here. No, bounce back up. Don't. Nope. Nothing I can do with. There we go. 431. We'll see if that can get up over the 435 mark and then come back down. So right over here, I'm potentially thinking about. Nope. Well, Tesla not really behaving as of now the way I see it, want it to behave. Can it stay up above 431? I am going to go ahead and get Tesla 431 flush. Oh, never mind. I was going to type 430 and I did. So delete out of there. It's too slow. Just move too fast. I know what's going on with this one. Oh, very nice. Nothing I can really do with that one though at this point. GME also just booming. Fade. Potential over 11. Yes, I'm talking to myself. And there goes Tesla. Just never. I mean, it kind of did. I was thinking 431. I was typing it, but everything just happened way too fast. And even if I wasn't typing up the alert, I don't think I would have been fast enough to get it. So, disappointed on that one. But I'm going to go ahead and pause right now, and we'll see if there's anything else I can find. All right, well, actually, 431 seems to be back in play here. So I'm going to get this alerted here. 431, flush point, 1 minute. So that is the level I'm watching. I don't know if it'll actually come back. Maybe this is the beginning of a much bigger bounce. Hence, again, these are live. But yeah, if this thing wants to come down to 431, that could be a very interesting candle here. But who knows, maybe this thing ultimately wants to put together a bigger bounce. We'll see what it wants to do. I will go ahead and pause for the time being, but that is the current plan. All right, watching 440 or 433. I'm short there. 100 shares, 433.41. I think this thing wants to get moving to the downside. And if it can crack through that 433 mark, it should get very, very entertaining. The question just becomes, can it break down through that level? So let's see if it wants to get down through there or not. I'm going to get that alerted. Tesla 433, new flush point, 1 minute. There we go. See, does this want to roll back over? That is the question here. 433, there's the break. Can we get some more momentum? I'd like to see it at least down at 432. Wow, that was a disappointing break. Don't want to give up on it yet, but there we go. All right, so took out 50 at 431.94. Let's see if we can get some more push to the downside here. Somewhat of a disappointing break there. And I'm not giving up on it. I still want to give this thing an opportunity. But yeah, this thing didn't quite get as much downside oomph as I thought was possible given the setup that had taken place there. So this still could be a losing trade for me. Want to give this thing a chance to see. Well, right now it's not looking so good, but like I said, you don't want to freak out or panic. And I get it. If this does turn out to be a losing trade, you could walk away and say, Clay, you were in the green. Why did you let that go to a losing trade? Well, the answer is because you got to give yourself a chance to let the position work for you. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Let it work for me. There we go. Can we get through and down through 431? Come on, knock on that door. There we go. So took out another 25. So that is why I sat through that little bounce right there, because had I gotten out, people, you could very well be saying, and rightfully so, Clay, why did you get out? It went totally in your favor, and you're absolutely right. And how did I not get 430 there? All right, well, let's see if it wants to get down through there again. Maybe that'll turn out to be a good thing. There we go. So all out there for $230 or $32. Not bad at all. And I don't think I showed it when I was typing it up, but you can see right here, talked about the new flush point being 433. So for you members that took that trade, very well done. Congratulations. And the learning lesson here that I really want to try to hammer home is there is that point where the price was bouncing right here. And I was sitting, this could be a losing trade. But the reason why I sat through it is because you got to give yourself a chance for the position to work for you. And I did. And it ended up turning out very, very nicely. So sure, I was at risk of maybe, now when I say a losing trade, I don't mean anything massive because, again, that's the power of mitigating, right? I took off 50 shares here. So not only did I lock in gains at that point, but I had also reduced position size, which is also helping to control risk. So because at that point, yeah, from a mental standpoint, it can be discouraging to watch a winning trade all of a sudden be a losing trade. Holy smokes. All right, never mind. Wow, look at Boeing just go. All right, nice. Somebody alerted that. Good job, Austin. Right there, you can see. And this is the power of working with a community. So I totally didn't see that one, but Austin did. So other members were well aware before I just noticed it. But that's a good I don't know. Shame on me for not noticing. Well, I kind of know why. I'm trying to do a learning lesson here. But 159. Anyways, point here being, that's why you want to let a position work for you. Just because it starts to go against you a little bit, no need to freak out. Just trust the strategy, trust the chart, trust the plan, and things can ultimately play out. So yeah, $232 on quote-unquote only 100 shares. So I'm more than happy with that. I'll take it. Let's see what else I can find. Have it order to go short 100 shares at 192.85. I want more than 100, as I think this movement right now is getting way overdone, especially you look at the 5-minute. That thing is crazy. So 100 shares will allow me to get my feet wet. Went up as high as 192.60. Okay, so at this point, just need to get up over 193. So 193.50 new entry point here. Initial entry point, like I said, want more than the 500, or excuse me, want more than 100. Well, now it's starting to pull back. So And as you saw, my order is at my original order was at 192.685, and you can see right there on my screen, if you're not familiar, went as high as 192.60. So I was close, but close is not good enough in the world of trading. BYND though, that thing is just continuing to grind. I guess volume's okay, not fantastic. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause. All right, wow, that happened super fast. In there at 190. Wow, that happened. I apologize. That happened so fast. But as a quick recap there, I got short at 193.50 for the 100 shares, but actually worked out in my favor because I was looking just for $50, meaning if I wanted to drop in my favor 50 cents, that would have been fantastic. But because everything happened so fast, because I wanted to get the video rolling and I was caught off guard, by the time I was able to get my order in there to exit, it had actually gone another 18 cents in my favor, which put $68 in my pocket instead of $50. So that little hesitation, that little kind of being caught off guard actually worked in my favor by $18. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way, but in that situation, fantastic. How high did it go? Almost. So almost 17 cents beyond me. So fantastic little movement there. Now, again, I wanted more than 100 shares. In hindsight, Clay, you should have done more than 500 up there. Yeah, you're right. In hindsight, I should have done that, but I didn't know that it was going to go that fast in my favor, but it worked out very nicely there. So let's see if it wants to continue on up. The 5-minute is still pretty crazy. I would not be interested, though, now unless it gets up over 194. But there we go, another $68 in my pocket. All right, I like Tesla here again. Round 2, try again. 430 flush point, 1 minute. But what I mean by that is over here you can see, where was it? Oh yeah, ROKU tried to talk about a round 2 425 flush point, but 425 never came into play. So that is why I'm just referencing the round 2, try again, 430 flush. And we'll see if that, oh shoot, it broke down below 430 already, didn't it? Whoops. That's the second time I've missed that, isn't it? I'll keep an eye on it, maybe try to get it on a back test here, but we'll see if it wants to consolidate out here. Looking like 429 is going to be that next and what is that? Yeah, 429. Maybe I'll wait and see if it wants to get down there to the 429 before I enter. 430, once again, looking pretty good. Let's see. Yes, I'm talking out loud. 432, so if I'm in at 430, that's 50, 100. So it'd still be, I didn't realize I was up a clean $300 right now. But if I'm wrong, let's do 50. So if I'm wrong, then that would be a $100 loss. Still be up $200 on the day. That's not terrible. So in there at 430, I'm risking around $100. Well, there we go, going in my favor. Let's see if we can get it. So all out there, nice for a quick $50 score there. I realized I was risking a little bit more than what I made, but given that it moved that fast in my favor, I just decided to take it. Probably not necessarily the best thing to do, but again, given the context of things, and again, that's why, yes, from strictly a risk versus reward standpoint, you're right. If all else is ignored, Clay, you said you were risking $100, but you only made $50 on the trade. That's correct, but got to think about the context. I was already up. You got to factor in the time context, right? That went my favor so quick. I mean, why not? Because I mean, in all actuality, now I could probably take it again. In fact, I may down there at 429. And that seems to be the key level to watch. But again, got a dollar move in my favor very, very quickly. So because of the time aspect, for me, I felt comfortable doing it, but I do see your point. I understand your point. Uh-oh, ROKU. Okay, never mind. We can, let's see here. Let's go to 195. Just double checking. So 195 again. I will start the process up there. By process, I mean I would like more than 100 shares, but this will at least get my feet wet here. Although it is 10:04. I don't know if I mean, I've really been lately striving to just be done by within 30 minutes, move on with my day, which, as I said in past videos, I like day trading. I like being a day trader, not because of all the, the late night gimmicks, fancy cars and mansions and yachts and Rolex watches. None of that. For me, it's freedom of time. It's the ability to say, hey, I've been quote unquote working for 30 minutes. I'm up $350. Are you happy with that? Where in the world can you make $350 in 30 minutes? And not many places. So for me, I don't know. I mean, there's just Tesla again coming into play. 429 is still very interesting, but it's just really a question of, do I want to sit here and wait to see if this thing comes back down? And I'm not quite sure. Well, that gives me my answer. You can see Roku is now pulling back. Tesla is actually coming down here, but not really in the manner that, yeah, wow, that level. NKLA. So much stuff going on right now. But no shares to short of this one. So not totally interested in that. Would still like to see 430 fail to the downside more. That was a flush point. So I'm sure there's some members in here that are still patiently waiting to see if this wants to crack to the downside. It poked its head upwards a little bit, but nothing where at least I can see that should have caused anybody to be stopped out. I mean, especially with as volatile as Tesla is. I mean, just right now, this is what just choppiness. So at this point, I am kind of watching this and rooting for it to die for members. So at this point, there we go. Get down through 428, give members at least a $2. Yeah, it should get down to 428 now. It's broken down to that level. You got to like the odds of that happening. And I would like to see that happen for members also. Granted, they've had a dollar move in their favor, but depending on how they're playing it, if they were playing it for a scalp, and members that were playing it for a scalp, they are perfectly fine. Like they're all good. Members that are trying to let this thing play out, they're still, I wouldn't quite say, I'd like to see it get down to 428 for them. That'd give them at least a $2 of cushion. So it's all just a matter of, well, what was your strategy going in? And my membership, my group, we're not a bunch of sheep. I train wolves, okay? I want wolves. I don't want sheep. And a wolf, I don't know what the right English language word for that is. Is it wolf or is it wolves? I don't know. But my point is, I want people that can think for themselves. I want people that say, hey, Clay, just show me where the fish may be, but then I'm going to go take it from there. And in this example, the quote-unquote fish was at 430. So how they're playing it from that area all depends. Like I said, people that were the wolves that were doing the scalp, they're perfectly fine. They got a fantastic, nice scalpable move. For those that are wanting this to move a little bit more in their favor, went down with those 428.35, but not quite where would want to be. So I'll go ahead and pause, look around. But at this point, like I said, I'm totally just watching this one for the sake of members and seeing hopefully it plays out well for them. But I'll go ahead and pause, and then we'll take a look later. I will say that even if they do take a loss, or it should really be a minimal loss given they've had it go in their favor a little bit, but it could still be a loss. I'd say well done, because if the price does get down here, and it looks like 428.75, that's going to be the level that for level twos. If you watch this number here, and if that number drops below 428.75, I think those members that are sitting through a little frustration right now, sitting through a little annoyance, they're going to be paid very, very nicely. Now, that might not happen, and they might be taking, like I said, a small controlled loss, but goes back to the very beginning example here, and I love how this stuff works itself out. That's worth it, right? They are giving themselves an opportunity to get paid in a very nice way, but in order to get paid, sometimes you got to sit through a little bit of annoyance like this. Like I said, 428.75, if that number, again, from over here, if that number drops below 428.75, then I think those members are going to get paid nicely, as it should, at minimum, go down to the 428 mark, if not even lower. But again, will that happen? That remains to be seen, but they sure have themselves in a nice situation where, they're either going to get paid very, very nicely, or they're going to take a controlled loss, live to fight another day. And I mean, you also have to keep in context that all these members, I'm sure, are using reduced position size because there was 433. So this was the round 2 trade. Round 1 was 433, which you saw went 433 all the way down to basically 423. So basically a $10 move right there. Members already had a chance at. So this was the second trade, and yeah, now it's bouncing. So we'll see. In fact, if it rolls back over, that would be, what is that? Yeah, 429. 429. That could be a $200. No, now it's bouncing upwards. Well, there's all Tesla for you. So probably, I can't speak for all members because everybody's different. But right there, that would have been, depending, for the scalpers, that was a winning trade. For people that were trying to give themselves the opportunity to get paid more, that was definitely a losing trade. But net, again, when you combine the fact that this was round 2, round 1 was a 10-point move, and even if here, let's just say they lost 3 points, there's still plenty of wiggle room there in their favor. But it is what it is, and I'm not going to sit here and try to say that every single alert I throw out is a winner. But like I said, it all just depends, because when you think for yourselves, there is multiple ways you could have played it. And for me, it was a winner, right? I took the quick scalp. And in hindsight, I made the right decision. For other people that maybe wanted a little bit more, they didn't make the wrong decision. They were in a very nice spot. It just didn't, crack and roll back over for them. But yeah, good little example there. So I suppose, yeah, it's 10:12. So I am definitely just going to wrap this up here. If you are interested in getting the very same alerts that you saw here, I had some fantastic ones, especially that first Tesla, but just a 10-point move. Pretty crazy. But if you're interested in getting those alerts, you can join my community, claytrader.com/team. And the way to approach that, $99, not per month, but per 3 months. And the numbers break down to $8.25 per week. So the question just becomes, if I invested $99 to join, do I believe I can get at least $8.25 per week of value? I'm quite confident you're going to get at least $8.25 per week of value. But if you think that's going to be the case also, then yeah, go ahead and get signed up. You'll get a great return on your investment. As far as this video is concerned, if you enjoy these live trade videos and want for me to continue to make them, then just hit that like button. That's a very time and efficient way to communicate that to me. Questions, comments, suggestions, please leave those down below. If you've ever watched any of my past videos, then you know that I do read and reply to all comments. And then finally, check out the channel as a whole. There's lots of other live trade videos. There's a good variety of videos. So check out the channel, and hopefully you ultimately decide to hit that red subscribe button. But again, if you want to trade alongside me, get my real-time thoughts, watch list, alerts from me and other traders, then like I said, claytrader.com/team. I'd love to have you join up as a member. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.